This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, rel-mar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our family of broadcast affiliates, stations, and satellite programming providers. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And for all the programming we have available for you, 7/24/365, visit the X-Zone Broadcast Network at www.xzbn.net. My guest this hour, X-Zone Nation, is Nancy Yearout. We're going to be talking to Nancy about her book entitled Wake Up, the Universe is Speaking to You. And let me see a little bit about Nancy before we bring her on. Nancy continues her energy work as an author, a spiritual life coach, and a motivational speaker. Her faith in the Lord and her intuitive abilities have enhanced over the years, giving her the necessary skills to assist many people on their spiritual paths. Her belief in the Lord is what ignites her light to do His work. As Nancy continues on her spiritual path, she maintains her real estate broker's license. She has enjoyed a successful career as the owner of her own real estate firm in New Mexico. Her expertise in business has allowed her to assist numerous homeowners and investors successfully for over 20 years. Joining me now is Nancy Yearout. And Nancy, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me on tonight.
My gosh, you're a busy lady.
I am. Sometimes I wonder why I do all this stuff, but I think I'm out there helping people.
You know what? That's what the world needs, is more people to help people.
There you go.
You know, it's a funny world we're living in these days, and how do you see it? You know, why do you think there's so much confusion, so much distrust, and just so much nastiness out there?
I was going to say bad energy. Yeah, you know, I think we've gotten away from a lot of our core values, honestly. Mm-hmm. You know, people have forgotten where they come from. And I think we need to get back to basics. And, you know, I talk about the energy in this book, but I also talk about, you know, how we need to get back to basics and remember some of the core principles that were taught to us years ago. I bring up, I've got a few Bible verses in here. Yeah. I've got some stuff from the Dalai Lama in here. And I just try to make it an easy read and let people know that, you know, they can change things for themselves if they want to. They have the opportunity. And so I think we can change this negativity in the short, if that makes sense.
It certainly does, and a lot of people seem to forget the past, and, you know, this is all part of a lesson that we're going through each and every day, and it's up to us to make the positive difference. But in today's society, with all the negativity that is fed to the masses through the influx of data, 7/24/365, it's very hard to get back to the goodness. Well, that's the excuse they use anyway. I don't believe it one bit. You know, I believe in a couple of chapters from the Bible myself, and one of them is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Correct. I agree. And that doesn't seem to be happening right now in our world. And I really would like to see people get back to basics. And yeah, like you said, love your neighbor like you would love yourself. And people don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. And a lot of people like to put their heads in the sand and expect everybody else to solve the problems, but they need to take responsibility and to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
Yes. And you know what, Rob? I think, not to get too out there, but I really feel like if we all made an effort, if every person made an effort to put out some good energy, to say hello to a stranger, to smile at somebody, to maybe bite their tongue and not say that bad thing, you know what I mean? If we all put out a good, just a little bit of good energy, everybody as a collective could change the vibration here on our planet. And it's very true. And that's how strongly I feel about energy and how it affects people.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I just like to add one more word into that total equation, and that's the word of love. We need more love in the world.
Exactly. And that's what it is. And I agree with you. That's it. And gosh, we've all gotten so hateful. Yeah. And if I could, help anybody, it would be watch what you say. I talk about it in the book. And one of the main things that I tell people, if anything, watch your words, because your words have vibration.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Welcome back, everyone. Nancy Yearout is my special guest. She's the author of Wake Up, the Universe is Speaking to You. And her website is www.theenergyprofit.com. And tell me, Nancy, what was it that you heard that made you realize the universe is speaking to you?
It's funny. I was a single mom when I started to pay attention to the energy, and it was out of necessity. Actually, Rob, I had 2 daughters, and I needed to make a living. I had gotten into the real estate business, and I needed to draw business to myself.
Right.
And I had a wonderful mentor, Naomi. She's not with us, but she would say to me, Nancy, draw it in. And I'd say to her, well, what do you mean draw it in? And what I learned is and she taught me, and I experimented, and it worked, and I sold a lot of houses and a lot of property and helped a lot of people. But bottom line is I learned that if I believed that I was going to sell something, and I knew it was for the best of everybody involved, then as long as I felt it and had faith, because that's the key, and knew it was going to be how I wanted it to be, it would happen. It's interesting. We can draw things to ourselves, and that's why I wrote the book. I thought I'd write this when I was really old, Rob, right? And but I had an opportunity to put this together when the real estate business kind of, went to hell in a handbasket. And I Yeah, and I wanted people to realize that you do have the power. We're little creators, and we have the power to draw things to ourselves. We have the power to create any life we want for ourselves. And I learned it firsthand. I had to draw business to myself. I learned how to do it. Then I started to experiment with it. I started to, put out good energy for others, for my kids, and so it just kind of snowballed from there.
We all have the power, and I can't understand why so many people in today's society are so willing to give that power away to other people.
Yeah, huh? That's called energy vampires out there, too,
I've known a couple of those in my day, and people think, energy vampires, are you out to lunch? And then you explain to them what an energy vampire is, and it's amazing that everyone you speak to knows an energy vampire.
Yeah, and just so your audience knows, an energy vampire is somebody who drains you of all your energy. If you have a friend that calls you and they tell you all their problems.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
By the end of the call, you've got to say nothing about what's going on in your life, but you have been drained of all your energy. That's an energy vampire. And, they're not doing it on purpose, but if you allow it, it can really affect you. And that's another reason I wrote this book. I saw firsthand people in bad relationships, and I saw one person healthy and vibrant, and the other person sick and drained of their energy, and then disease set in. So this is some serious stuff. You can really, because your immunities are down. When your energy field is down, it's almost like an opening for disease to come in. Okay?
Yes.
I know that may sound, people don't realize that. And that's another reason why I wrote this, because it does affect our health. And, if you can just come home at night and do a sea salt bath, throw, a half a cup of sea salt in the bathtub and just get some of that negative energy off. Or, in New Mexico, we have sage, white sage sticks. And why does that work? Well, it's the properties of the smoke. Within the smoke, the Native Americans use it for their ceremonies. They use it for clearing. Yeah. I use it for clearing. I clear my house. I clear my car. If you go into your house and it feels really heavy, if you don't have sage and you don't want to order any on the internet, get some cinnamon. Put it in a pot of boiling water on your stove. And that cinnamon smoke, it's the same thing. It's the steam. It's the properties within the cinnamon.
It's basic aromatherapy.
Exactly. And so there are so many different little things that people don't need to know what you're doing, but you can clear your space and it will feel lighter and things will get better for you.
A perfect example of this is like when you go home for Christmas, the smell that, of the gingerbread and the smell of the tree and all these wonderful memories come back. That's aromatherapy, and people don't get it. And the worst part about life as we see it today, Nancy, is that people take better care of their cars than they do of themselves.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And that's what, when I do a whole chapter on the essential oils in the book, and it's really interesting when I started to research some of this stuff and I realized, okay, why was frankincense so important? Why did they bring it to Jesus? Why did the three kings? Because frankincense has healing properties. Frankincense has been proven now to reset your DNA code. Okay, they're using it for cancer patients. So there are so many different things that these things that were talked about in the Bible are not being used today. I almost feel like the pharmaceutical companies have gotten so big that we've forgotten about where these drugs actually are stemmed from, and they're stemmed from the oils.
Is it the pharmaceutical companies that we should look at, or is it the inability or the laziness of society to actually go and, like you have done, you've done your homework. You've written a great book. You're helping a lot of people. But that's you, dear. A lot of other people say, you know what? I'll just go see my pharmacist, and if there's nothing I can get from my doctor, I'll see what I can get over the counter.
Here's the thing. I see more and more people. It's almost like a chain reaction. I've seen so many more people in the last few years get into the oils, the essential oils, because I think we're all feeling, with all the issues with the health care, and I think people are looking for natural remedies. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot more people than you realize that are trying to get back to basics. That's what I feel. And if there's more of us out there that can just spread the word that these things can help, I think maybe we can make some headway.
But I've been doing this show now for 26 years, and everybody likes to point the negative finger at Big Pharma. And I think that Big Pharma is the scapegoat for people. So I'm protective of Big Pharma because I've got a number of my family who are in the medical profession. And when you work in the medical profession, 7/24/365, the outlook and how people in the medical community look at Big Pharma is totally different from than the people in society who really don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Well, and I think more than anything, if we can just be healthy and watch what we eat, exercise, watch what you put in your body. Yep. I mean, those are the things that you can really do. Granted, there's wonderful antibiotics that help us, and there's wonderful things out there. But there are some times where you don't really have to maybe get a pharmaceutical drug. Maybe you can use an essential oil. My little granddaughter, she has trouble with her ears. And so my daughter takes cotton and she puts a little lavender and a little tea tree oil. She puts it on the cotton and puts it in her ears at night. And it works wonders. These are little simple things that people can do just to make their life a little easier.
They're called grandmother tales because this is what grandma used to, like my grandmother did the same thing with me and my brother. And
Yeah, but then when you start to research it and realize that they're using frankincense to cure Lou Gehrig's disease and Parkinson's disease and multiple sclerosis, and that it can reset our DNA code, then it kind of makes you think, well, maybe we should be using more of this stuff. And it's funny, in the book I write about thieves, and I don't know, you've probably heard of thieves oil. And, thieves oil was a combination of oils that was put together during the Black Plague back in the 16th century. What happened was, it was a band of thieves, and they were going around and they were stealing from all the people who had died from the Black Plague. So the king went and said, okay, bring me these guys. And he said, if you tell me what you're doing so that, I can protect myself and my family, I won't kill you, basically. So they told him it's a combination of oils that we're putting on ourselves in order to, stop and the plague from affecting us.
Right.
So, once you start researching this stuff, it's really amazing.
But there's one big factor in all of this that a lot of people forget when they talk about, self-healing and so on. I agree with you 100% that back in the day, things were a lot different. But in today's society, with the chemicals that we have in the air, the chemicals that we breathe, the chemicals that we eat, the chemicals that we ingest, we're not talking about basic cures anymore because we're dealing with a body that is totally different than the bodies of those way back when
I agree
wasn't.
Completely.
And this is why I am not one for self-medicating. I am not. I believe in the medical community. I have the highest of respect for pharmaceutical companies. But I also understand that there are a lot of homeopathic cures like the earache that you were talking about that for your granddaughter that are good.
Yes.
But when you have to know when to stop. Like, you're not a doctor. You don't spend years in medical school. You don't know the chemistry of the body. And I think also that a little bit of knowledge is very dangerous.
I just think that people need to be open-minded and, use it in conjunction with your other medicines. But, I'm talking about lavender oil, putting it in your bath so that, it calms you down a little bit, or putting some tea tree oil in your laundry to disinfect. And those are the kind of things I'm talking about.
Yeah, but, I've had guests on the show who come on and they, you're listening to them and you're saying, well, what the hell are you talking about? Are you a doctor? Do you hold a degree in chemistry? Well, no, I read this on the internet. Oh, that's when I really get scared because, in my opinion, the internet is the biggest septic tank that man has ever created because it's got more crap in it than anything else.
Yeah, it does. It does. But when I'm talking about energy, and I'm talking about all of these oils do have have their own frequency, okay? And it's the same thing I talk about with water. Water has a frequency, and it does things for us. Prayer has a frequency. So my book is about energy. And it's about the spoken word and the power of thought and how we can clear ourselves and how we can create a nice life for ourselves. And why do these things work? Why does prayer work? And why does the energy of affirmations, and how can you draw things to yourself? So those are the things that I really want people to learn and get out of this.
But as a trained engineer, I know that all frequency does not have the same effect on every person because different people react to different frequencies in different ways. So,
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
welcome back, everyone. Nancy Yearout is our special guest, and she is the author of Wake Up, The Universe is Speaking to You. Her website is www.theenergyprofit.com. And within the pages of this book, you'll learn how to work with universal energy to enhance your business and personal life. Nancy Yearout teaches you how to use affirmations to achieve your goals in life. She casts light upon the power of prayer and its energy benefits to all who believe. Energy can cause wellness or illness in your body, so learning how to clear the negative energy which may be contributing to health issues, the messages that the universe sends will keep you on the right path. She also discusses the angels and how they can assist us while on our life's journey. Joining me now is Nancy Yearout. And what part do the angels play? And what happens if you're in a religious philosophy where angels don't exist?
Well, you have to believe, and that's part of it. So if you have to believe that there's a higher power, and you have to believe that he's got some helpers. And my personal experience and experiences that I've talked to with others is that they've had different things happen to them in their life where they do believe that there are angels that are watching out for us. I believe that we all have help if we ask. I think that's the biggest thing.
Is the help actually coming from an external source, or is it actually coming from an internal source that we, because of society and religious philosophies and religious dogma, believe that it's an external force, a supreme being, a deity, an angel that is actually doing the work when it's actually ourselves?
I don't know. I think that God is the one who gives us the ability to do a lot of things. I don't think I want to give credit to anything other than our Creator.
But why not give credit to yourself?
We are all little creators, and we do have energy, yes. But I also believe that angels are here to help us and to comfort us and to make, maybe if we're close to having an accident, maybe they can help prevent. I think they're here to help us. I believe they're God's helpers, and I believe that we have to ask.
Why do you believe that? How has an angel helped you?
Well, let me give you a couple stories.
Okay.
One night I was, in my office, single mom, it was late at night and it had snowed, and I was pulling out of the parking lot, and of course I got stuck. Here I am halfway out into the road and halfway into the parking lot. What am I going to do now? And I really didn't have anybody to call. And so I just kind of looked up and said, okay, what am I going to do? And then all of a sudden, this guy shows up out of nowhere. He had on a black trench coat, black gloves, kind of short haircut. And he said, hey, I'll push out, get in and steer. And I said, okay. And he pushed me out. It was so awesome. And I got out and turned around to thank him, and the guy was gone. So, I've had a lot of these different things happen to me over time, Rob, and I've heard stories, and who knows? And I have had, I'll tell you another one really quick it's kind of interesting. Again, I was with the girls. I'm from Michigan originally, and I was working for one of the car companies, and the girls were little, and I put them to bed, and I fell asleep on the couch, and I was always real careful because we were by ourselves, but I must have forgot to shut the front door. I did forget to shut the front door, and I was startled by a real hard knock on my door, and I jumped up and I ran, and there was this lady standing there, and she was looking at me, and she had these blue piercing eyes. I'll never forget what she looked like. And she said something, it's been a long time, but she said something to the effect of, "Shut your door, girlfriend," So I did, and I looked for her because we lived in an apartment complex to thank her, and I never saw that woman again. So, I've had a lot of things happen to me over time to make me believe, yes. I think you have to ask again.
Well, once again, is it coincidence? Is it synchronicity? Or is it fact?
I believe that everything is synchronized, personally. I believe
now, you use that word quite frequently. I believe, which is based on your
faith. I have faith, Rob. I guess I didn't talk about that so much. I think all of this stuff that people talk about, positive affirmations, good energy, clearing themselves, it all boils down to faith. Do you have faith in a higher power that somebody else is looking out for you?
But I see, this is where I think that there's a big fallacy in humanity right now, where everybody gives away the ability to say, "Hey, I did it myself. The power is within." Why give it away to a deity that is based on sheer belief, not fact, but sheer belief?
We have power. We're little creators. I believe we have energy, and we have way more ability than we give ourselves credit for. Yes, you are correct. We are powerful little beings who create, and if we knew how to use our abilities, I think we'd be at a different place. But we're learning, and that's the cool part, that we're learning how to use some of these abilities. We're learning how to use the energy. But you have to have faith in a higher power, I guess.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I don't.
That's why people go out, I know, but that's why people go out and buy sports cars, and they're empty on the inside.
Well, I'm not empty. I'm not empty on the inside. I'm very fulfilled on the inside. I've got a wonderful family. I've got great friends. I do what I can for my fellow humans. I've got a very successful business. I'm not empty, and I don't give anybody else the credit except myself and my parents.
Who do you think created you, Rob? How do you think you came to be?
I believe in the Darwinian theory. I don't believe that it was a deity who put two people here on Earth that multiplied the Earth.
Well, and that's why I think we're having so many issues, because people don't believe.
I think that's why we are having so many issues, is because of religion and belief. I think religion has served its time. It is of no value to society anymore. I agree it should not be taught in the schools. Because, well, look at the problems that religion is causing between Islam and Christians. You know, throughout history, wait a second here. Throughout history, more people have died because of religious beliefs than any other reason.
I think they were fighting for their beliefs, Rob. I don't think they were trying to kill people for their beliefs. I think people have fought for their beliefs, to be free and to believe what they want to believe. And I believe in freedom of speech, and I believe in freedom of religion. But I do believe you have to, what you can call it God, you can call it an entity, you can call it whatever, but I do believe you have to believe in a higher power. And
Why?
Because
you're giving the power away.
No.
Sure you are.
That's what fills you.
No.
That's what fills you up, is a power from a source from above, not from us.
You know, I'm going to tell you something, my dear.
Tell me.
That people who seek religion, in my opinion, are weak. Because they can. No, it's not. That is real. You show me people who have sought out religion, and I'll show you people who have had trouble and strife in their life that they haven't been able to cope with by themselves.
Well, you just met one, because I'll tell you what, I was not religious. I went to Sunday school like everybody else. And
I never went to Sunday school.
My dad taught Sunday school, and we went to church. And, I didn't go to church at all.
Yeah.
Growing, when I got older, I just thought I knew it all, and I thought I had control, and, I thought I could do it all. I didn't need any higher power, but I learned the hard way.
Why? What happened? What happened in your life that? What happened in your life that? Wait a second here. No. Wait a sec. This is not the Nancy Yearout show. This is the Rob McConnell show.
And what do you want to say? You don't want me to answer the question, or what?
Sure, I want you to answer the question, but I was going to interject a question here, saying, your own religious upbringing, did that have anything to do with the way that you look into religion these days?
Okay. I was trying to explain to you something, but
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
So I grew up going to Sunday school and all of that good stuff, but really didn't buy into any of it, okay? And then when I got older, I probably was in my late 20s, early 30s. And, I really you have to read my book, or I don't know if you did, but I tell the story in the book, actually, what happened to me. And at one point, my life had gotten really terrible. I was in a bad situation, a bad marriage. And let me tell you, I didn't kneel down to pray for, I don't think I've ever knelt down to pray. But it got so bad that I knelt down to pray, and I got my answer. And it was the first time I'd ever done that. And the more I started to believe that there was a higher power, the better things got for me. And I think that's why I wrote this book.
Was it because it was the higher power, or did you actually find out who you were? And that it was your inner power that made all this happen. The real Nancy.
I learned to have faith in something besides myself.
Why not? Why did you lose faith in yourself?
No. I didn't say I lost faith in myself.
So why didn't you
learn to have faith in that somebody was out there looking out for me?
Maybe that was yourself. Maybe it was yourself. Why give your power away?
I'm not. Hey, let me tell you, I don't give my power.
Then
away.
Why give you?
My power comes from my power comes from God. It doesn't.
Well, if you want to believe that, that is your right. That is your choice. I, on the other hand, do not believe that.
That's fine. You can believe whatever you want, but I wrote the book so I could help people. And so that's why I'm here tonight, Rob, to help people, not to argue with you.
Yeah. Well, I like asking questions, and I like asking hard questions.
Ask me some more hard questions, Rob.
How do you know there's a God?
I do, because I have faith, and I've had so many wonderful things happen to me since I started to have faith. I'm a wonderful man. My business prospered. I am a happy, healthy person, and I have a wonderful family, just like you do.
Do you go to church on Sundays, man?
You're not letting me finish.
Well, you're taking long, and I've got so many questions, so I'd like shorter answers.
I feel like it's because of God.
Do you go to church on Sundays?
I don't.
Why not?
I don't like organized religion.
So is your God the God of organized religion, or is this a God of a different religion?
I believe in a higher power. You can call it whatever you want, but I believe in higher power.
Well, you said God a few times. You've said prayer. You've said angels. And to me, that all points to an organized religion.
No, I don't go to church. I believe in God, but I don't believe in organized religion at all.
Why don't you go to church?
I had a church that I belonged to, and it's mostly because I travel, to be honest with you. But a lot of the churches that I have attended over time, it was interesting. My husband and I wanted to find a nice church to go to. And we went to several. It was quite an experiment. My
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Wake Up, The Universe is Speaking to You is the book we're talking about this hour, Exonation. The author is Nancy Yearout, and her website is theenergyprophet.com. The Energy Prophet, how does energy fit into this entire thing? Is there a difference between energy and frequency, or are they one and the same?
I believe that it's one and the same. Each person is, like you were talking about before, we all have our own little frequencies. Yeah. Some are higher, some are lower. Yeah.
You say that the energy of the spoken word can be addressed in various places in the Bible. Can you give us examples of that?
I do have it in my book, but, Jesus talked about the spoken word and why it's so important. And it's interesting. I meet people and they say, I will never be successful. I just know I'm never going to be successful. And I let them know that they are speaking negative about themselves. Mm-hmm. If you say, I will be successful, the universe picks up on that. And the universe was set up in such a way that whatever you say, whatever you think, that vibration goes out and you get an answer. Some people call it karma, but it's whatever you put out is what you get back. So that's why it's so important, and it's very simple. It's a child can understand it. If you speak positive about yourself, then other people will feel that way too, because the energy goes out and people pick up on that. So it's quite interesting. That's why I talk about gossip. When you gossip about somebody, that energy comes back to you. So, all the people, when they do negative things and they say negative things about you, don't think that you have to do anything. The universe pretty much takes care of it for yourself.
Man, you put a lot of faith in the universe instead of humanity.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I'm having a hard time putting my head around this.
Are you?
I really am. I really am. I'm not one of the guys who believe in woo-woo stuff.
It's not woo-woo.
Oh yeah, to me it is. To me it is, because it cannot be substantiated scientifically. It cannot be substantiated by any other course of action than one's own belief.
We're made of energy, Rob.
Sure we are. That's why you give yourself the credit. You don't give the credit away to a deity or that doesn't exist or can't prove exists.
Deity, there's energy, and where do you think the energy comes from?
I believe in the Big Bang. I don't believe that a deity created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh he rested.
That's fine. Okay, so forget all of that and just get to basics and listen. Use the energy to benefit your life. That whether you believe in religion, whether you believe in a deity, whatever. The bottom line is there's energy out there that you can use to help yourself.
Then why not? I'm sorry.
That's the most important thing that I can tell you tonight, or I can tell your listeners.
But why don't we call it what it is? Why don't we call it what it is? Why do we bring religion into it?
You did.
Oh, no, ma'am. Oh, no.
Listen, all I'm trying to tell you is, in a simple way, that we have the ability to create any life we want. It can be negative or it can be positive.
Right.
Other people can affect us, and we need to wake up and pay attention. So that's where the book comes in. Wake up. Pay attention to the people around you. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to your words. Pay attention to your visualizations. Start to say positive affirmation. Say a prayer if that works for you. If you don't want to pray, say an affirmation. Call it whatever you want. But whatever vibration you put out is what you get back. And it's very simple. And if I can help somebody by letting them know these things, then I've done a good thing for people.
So you're now saying there is no divine power.
Oh my God, Rob, you can call it whatever you want. I'm talking about energy here.
But I need to understand where you're coming from. You're saying that you have the...
I don't care whether you call it a deity or whether you call it God. The universe is made up of energy. And I'm trying to teach people how to utilize that energy for their benefit. That's all.
All right, you're teaching the people what you believe to be the truth. And whether they accept it or not, it's up to them.
I'm trying to help people. I learned how to use the energy to draw business to myself, became very successful. I learned how to use the energy to figure out, I'm not the right guy. Wow, how did I do that? I really focused on what was important to me. I talk about it in the book. The whole idea is to help people. We're here, right? So why not make our life just a little bit easier? If somebody would have taught me these things when I was a little younger, I think my life would have been a little smoother.
Why don't you think that this is inherent in each and every one of us?
What do you mean?
Why isn't it born into us? Why isn't this something that we know from the time we're born?
You know if you walk into a room if it's got bad energy or not. Yeah. You can tell that.
Yeah, but I don't need a book to tell me that.
Well, you just asked me, are we all born with it? Of course we are. It's called intuition.
All right, so why then do some people forget what is born in them and they go
use
different...
it and some people don't.
All right, let me ask further on that question. Why do you think a person would stop using it while another person would continue to use it?
I think it's more ignorance than anything. Again, that's why I wrote the book. Wake up, pay attention. I don't think we've not been taught. When you go to school, they don't teach you about energy. They don't teach you that we're made up of energy. They don't teach you that negative people can affect you.
All right.
So these are things that, I think that if we taught, our kids these just little things, that could help them along their way just to make their life a little bit easier.
I'm going to go back to the theory that not all people react to energy in the same way. What happens? Now, I'm sure this book works for many people, and there are many people it doesn't work for.
Why would you say that?
Well, because not every book works. Not every theory works.
You read my book, Rob?
Pardon?
Did you read my book?
Nope.
Okay.
No, but I have read the notes here. I have been speaking to you for nearly an hour now, and I've come up with my own conclusions.
Oh, okay.
That's what I get paid the big bucks for.
God bless you.
See, there you said God again.
Yes, I believe there's a God.
If there is a God, and let me ask you this question since you brought him up again. If there is a God, why is this world in such a mess? Why doesn't he just step in?
I think he will. What do you think?
Well, I don't think that there is a God up there. I don't think that anybody can create the situation to make this world a better place than those of us who are living in it.
I think we all have an opportunity, like I said, I think in the beginning, to put out some good energy to try to make things be a little bit different.
Right.
We can raise the vibration. We can actually raise the vibration here on Earth by putting out good energy. And that's really the bottom line here. So, that's why I'm trying to make people aware.
What is, everything has an upside. In your opinion, what is the downside to this?
The downside to what?
To what you believe in. to what you're teaching, what your book is all about?
I don't see a downside.
Well, all right, you're the author. I don't think you would see a downside.
Why would you ask me that question?
To see if you were honest.
I'm very honest.
You see, this is a basic question. You know, like, why did you write your book? I wrote my book to help people. Bang, right?
Right? Yeah.
Okay. But you also wrote your book to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, so they can use it for their benefit, just like somebody taught me. You know, I was a single mom, and I needed to create business for myself. And thank goodness there was somebody that taught me this stuff.
Who taught it to you?
It's my way of giving back.
I thought you learned this yourself.
Wow, you didn't listen to me at all. I told you there was a lady who taught me how to draw things to myself.
And she's not here anymore. She passed on.
Right, there you go. So now you remember.
Oh, I knew. I was just trying to see if you were going to change your story. That's all.
Wow. You know, I wish you the best. And I don't know what to say other than I think you're kind of lost, sir.
Well, I know I'm very successful, and I think people who write books, who try and dictate to people how to live their lives, they're the ones who are lost. Oh, my God, what a... You know, like, I'm right, you're wrong. Give everything to a deity. Don't take it yourself. You know, like, what does she think people are? Brainless, dumb idiots, for God's sake? Man alive, people who do not have the balls to take credit for what they do and who are so weak they have to give the credit away to a deity. I feel very sorry for those people. And I feel more sorry for the people who actually buy the damn books. If she was right, the Bible would be the only book that you